Is it a decent investment today?
It all depends on what you pay for your electricity.
Say you're on solar, off the grid.
All right. So then, did someone give you those solar panels for free?
No, you invested in it.
Okay.
So it's a bigger
to,
investment for you. You are maybe have 10 years left on your mortgage. You decided to outfit because you didn't want to deal with a blackout from the hurricane anymore, and you've paid BPL or Grand Bahama Power what $15 a month. So you're energy sufficient and decided to pay for itself, and you want to get into Bitcoin. Would $2,500 on a machine be a decent investment?
Okay, so a machine of that power would produce like 0.1 Bitcoin a year. One machine?
0.1 Bitcoin.
A year.
So 0.1. So roughly, let's say by
$1,800 in today's value of Bitcoin.
That's not bad.
In 1 year.
That's not too bad, based on where the price is now.
Based on where the price is now. So clearly, the higher the price is, the more profitable this venture is. Right. But mind you, you've got the heat problem you got to deal with.
Man, your batteries in the AC part of the you push, might as well put the machine right now.
Where?
Where you keep your batteries. Because you have AC on your batteries anyway. You have it off the floor. Why not?
Now your electricity bill for that is much higher, or the number of panels you need to run that is much higher. There's no free lunch. That electricity has to come from somewhere.
It does.
Right?
Right.
So it might be that you could amortize that in a different way, but the point is it ain't free. Your mining rig is consuming a good bit of it, because these rigs consume about 1,500 watts 24/7.
1,500 watts 24/7.
Right. That's one of them. That's one.
Wow.
And typically you have hundreds of these if you run in a farm, if you run a mining farm. And then, what is logical and what is looking like a good idea is to use these for heating. Figure out, in cold areas, because really this is where you should set these up anyway.
Right.
Number one, you want them close to cheap electricity. And you want them close because the further the electricity travels from the source, the more expensive it gets, because you lose electricity in the wires as you go. So if you can set up right next to a hydroelectric plant in Quebec, Canada, or someplace like that, where it's freezing cold in the winter, right? You're
at least 4 or 5 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Right.
So, in a situation like that, you're doing great, because you have no problem dumping all that heat. The electricity is like 4 or 5 cents, or per kilowatt hour, and so that's where mining farms tend to go and set up, and so, or wherever there's renewable energy, where with large initiatives like in Texas and
the windmills and
so
solars
forth,
and stuff.
Wherever there's renewables, what happens is that with Bitcoin mining, it takes any unused power that these renewable sites can
distribute,
can muster, and uses it, making them in other words, flattening the curve of demand, because normally you have peaks in the morning, peaks in the evening.
So it makes it more efficient.
It makes it more efficient because you're consuming the same amount of electricity 24/7, and you'll take as much as they can produce, whatever excess energy. And so, in other words, you're helping renewable sources to become more profitable, and you're stabilizing the grid because you're absolutely always consuming the same amount of electricity.
So it's set up by Bitcoin rig by the Sports Center with the solar from the.
Well, if they let you plug in. Well, you know, a good place would be, I don't know if the system is still working, but down by Inagua.
Inagua? Was
it not Inagua that the former government set up a solar plant?
I thought that was Ragged Island.
Maybe it was Ragged Island.
Yeah, because they got wiped out after the hurricane.
Okay,
so I think it's Ragged Island.
But it's down south.
Right.
So I spoke to the engineer who put it together, a guy from Germany or someplace. Anyway, the settlement that was there, it was not very large. The solar facility was a 1.4 megawatt facility.
And they're not even using all of that. They're just using like a small fraction of that.
They were using 40 kilowatts. So there was over a megawatt that's was
crazy
being generated and not used.
And no way to distribute that to anybody else because it's such a remote key.
Correct. And so
a remote island. Let me
say
a
remote island.
Right.
So if you could set up a mining farm down there, you could be mining. But the conditions are not great for mining on Ragged Island.
Because of the excessive heat and humidity from the weather.
And the salt water. And,
you would be changing out equipment almost every month.
It's very expensive to do it there.
Right.
Yeah, I looked into it. So yeah, I mean, I priced out the whole thing, and it's much more sensible to go someplace north or far south, wherever the temperature is cold.